like to call the joint committee of the Committee on Education and the Committee on Ways and Means to order. Today is Monday, April 6th. It's 10:30 a.m., 10:35 a.m. We are in room 22211, and we are on the first agenda.
Bless you.
This meeting, including the audio and video of remote participants, is being streamed live on YouTube, and you will find links to reviewing options for all Senate meetings on the live and on-demand video page of the legislature's website. And in the likely event we have to abruptly end this hearing due to major technical difficulties, the committee will convene to discuss any outstanding business on Tuesday, April 7th at 10:30 a.m. in room 211. And we have testimonies this morning. Each testifier will have 1 minute to do their testimony. And with that, we will start with and this is on HB 2567, House Draft 1, starting with Keith Hayashi. Proposed CD1. I'm sorry, proposed SD1.
Aloha Chair De La Cruz, Chair Kim, Vice Chair Moriwaki, and Vice Chair Kidani. Keith Hayashi, Superintendent, testifying on behalf of the Department of Education. The department stands on its written testimony, which provides comments on this measure. The Hawaii State Department of Education expresses concerns that HB 2567 proposed SD1 would hinder operational agility by restricting our ability to establish positions, and strongly opposes provisions that would mandate board evaluations of complex area superintendents and allow legislative access to confidential personnel records. Thank you for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you. Ian Robertson from the Department of Attorney General.
Morning, Chair, Vice Chairs. Ian Robertson, Deputy Attorney General. Our office submitted testimony indicating that the proposed SD1 may be exposed to risk of a challenge under League of Women Voters v. State. Thank you.
Thank you. Hawaii State Board of Education. Osa Tui from HSTA. Millie.
Good morning, chairs and vice chairs. Sarah Milianta-Lathan on behalf of OSA-TUI and the HSTA. You have our written comments, but we'd also just say we think this promotes accountability and transparency. And I'll also say, as a classroom teacher, anything that can get funds to me in my classroom so I can use with my students, we support. So thank you.
Thank you. Janet Snelling on Zoom. Aloha, Janet. Computer, it will come. Okay, here we are. Okay.
Are we good?
Why don't you deal with it and we'll come back to you. We have Lori Yatsushiro on Zoom. Okay, Lori, go ahead.
Aloha, chairs and vice chairs and members of the committee. Mahalo for the opportunity to testify. While we share the goal of fiscal responsibility, I'm sharing concerns about HB 2567 SD1 proposed, specifically regarding the restrictions on the superintendent's managerial authority to create leadership positions. In times of crisis, leadership flexibility is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Had this provision been in place during the 23 Maui wildfires, our response would have been severely compromised. The two complex area superintendents were able to temporarily appoint deputy CASs to manage the immense surge in community needs. These leaders provided boots on the ground, large volume coordination that required 2 executive level positions to support students and families, manage transitions for displaced staff and students, and maintain 24/7 communication between school leadership and MEMA. This allowed principals to focus on their school communities. These temporary positions have since sunsetted. However, a statutory cap on superintendent positions would have created an administrative barrier to this responsive leadership, directly impacting our ability to serve our community during its darkest hours. Furthermore, these roles are vital for seamless leadership transitions. As a former deputy CAS, the opportunity to receive on-the-job training and historical context ensured that when I stepped into leadership, there was no lapse in support for my schools.
Can you summarize, please?
Yes, mahalo for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you. We'll go back to Janet or Jeanette.
Aloha, Chair Dawson.
Still not working. We'll come back to you again. We'll go to the next person. Susan Picola Davis. Person not here. Anyone else wishing? Oh, you are here. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Wouldn't miss it for the world. So, my written testimony was me trying to get clarification between how the bill changed from early childhood education investment special fund to what was in the past SB 3334. I got clarification from the public access room this morning. So as a member of the public, I consider myself akamai. I do not appreciate the way this bill went from one bill to the other. I don't understand all of the process for the legislature, so that's on me. I'm still strongly opposed. I want you to still please defer. Senator Dela Cruz explained to me the last time the difference between a superintendent created position and a legislatively approved position. So I'm not going there, but where I am confused is for what reason would you have to the Board of Education doing performance evaluations on complex level superintendents? How do you train them to be objective? How do they get their information to do this? Usually performance evaluations are based on observation and also input from maybe the principals and maybe higher level superintendents.
Susan, can you?
I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Any questions?
Okay. Anyone else wishing to testify on this measure? Hearing none. Oh, questions, members? Anybody has questions?
So for the superintendent.
Oh, is she ready? Jeanette? Go ahead. Jeanette? Hello, Jeanette?
Yeah.
Okay, we have your testimony on file, so thank you. We have to move on. Okay, members, questions? Anyone has questions? You have questions?
Yeah, for the superintendent.
Oh, Superintendent.
Okay, so the HRS 32A-1116 provides the department the authority to create temporary positions that it deems necessary. So that's what one of the, I guess, the CAS is from Maui.
Yes.
Yeah. It says that the department's expenditure shall not exceed its allocated budget. So you have to figure out how you're going to pay for it. But number two, the term of each position shall not exceed 1 year. And the two deputy positions have been longer than 1 year.
It is. It
Yeah.
has, Senator. Yeah.
So that's already a violation of the HRS.
I will take a look into that. I wasn't aware of that.
Okay,
There was
well-
a year on it.
And it says here that the department shall report the creation of temporary positions to the Department of Budget and Finance. But I'm more concerned about the fact that these positions have lasted longer than a year. So you're not really following the HRS. So I understand what she's saying, but the law is the law, and these positions have been much longer.
Senator, I will take a look into that. I wasn't aware that there was a 1 year maximum on it.
Okay.
Question, I will follow up. Do we have any other, did you create any other positions that has longer than a year?
No, we have the two deputy positions. Also, Senator, as was shared by Complex Area Superintendent Yasushiro. We did create the the deputy complex area superintendents to support the two complex areas on Maui with wildfire needs. But those positions have since been stopped.
Yeah, so that was compliant with the law, but the two deputy positions are non-compliant.
So,
I'll check into
so
that.
you don't have anybody on your staff or attorneys that will advise
Or
you
the AG.
for the AG?
So
I mean,
I'll
how do you not know this?
check with the AG's office. Thank you.
Question.
Senator Elefante.
Thank you, co-chairs. Superintendent, how many deputy CAS positions have you added, the department added since you've been superintendent?
It was the two temporary deputy CAS positions that supported Maui. Also, there were, I believe, 3 deputy CAS positions to support with transitions between, and that was no more than 1 semester, I believe, that helped to support the transition between an outgoing complex area superintendent and a new complex area superintendent that's coming in. And that was done because of the complexities that a complex area superintendent deals with. As a former principal and CAS, it is a very different kind of responsibility to assume the role of a complex area superintendent. The scope of responsibilities is much more. And so to support that smooth transition, in those 3, I believe in those 3 instances, is for a period of 1 semester.
And that was it?
That was it.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
So Attorney General. So you brought up, I guess,
You can sit there.
you brought up concerns, but did you guys advise the department that they're already non-compliant?
I'd have to confer with the education division of our office. I'm from the administration division. We didn't, as far as I know, provide advice on this issue to the superintendent. But I can follow up with that division.
Okay.
Okay, so Keith, the 2 temporary positions that are now in violation, who appoints the people that work for them, like the secretaries, executive assistants? Those are special appointments, or are those?
I believe, Chair, that those positions are allocated by the legislature. It's a 2 deputy superintendent positions that I did appoint.
Okay, so we gave those positions to support the 2 deputies, knowing that it was temporary?
Yes, I believe so. The support positions.
When it was temporary, when you yourself don't know it was temporary.
Just to clarify, Senator,
Me and Jesse,
are sitting in temporary positions.
Yeah.
Yes,
you knew that were temporary.
yes. Well, they were created under the authority for the superintendent to create those positions.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be within the 1 year.
I wasn't aware of that.
But then you knew they were temporary, you said.
Yes,
And yet you asked us,
understand.
yes, you asked us for permanent positions for the 2 temporaries?
Is it one of those like portable, temporary to become permanent?
no,
I mean, it's just temporary.
so I didn't, because I didn't realize that, and I will check that the positions had a 1-year sunset on them. It was my understanding that once those positions are created, I did have the authority to create temporary positions. And so those temporary positions needed the support staff, of which we
No,
came
yeah, I
and we
get
asked
that.
for
But
that.
you're saying you knew that when you appointed Jesse's position and Tammy's position, that you knew they were temporary. Those 2 deputies were supposed to be
They were
temporary.
in temporary positions. But I was my understanding that I could establish temporary positions that were funded by the department and hire into those positions until such a time where I deemed that those positions were no longer temporary. So I wasn't aware of the 1-year limit.
So maybe the AG can answer this. So now that we know that those positions were temporary and that they need to cease to exist, what happens then? Can he then create 2 new same positions?
At this point, I'm going to have to, very sorry, I'm going to have to take it back to our education division so that they can look at that issue, but I will ask them to address that issue. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Senator, may I also clarify?
Yes.
The deputy positions, the individuals that are in that position are appointed yearly. So it is a temporary position that it is renewed every year on their Form 5.
So you're just going to continue to annually,
Yes.
okay. So the testimony from the CAS from Maui was like this authority is important in cases of emergency. But if you're doing it annually, then that doesn't really classify as an emergency.
I'm not sure if the statute specifically
No, I'm not saying that
applies
that
to-
it does. Her testimony says it's important to keep this in law
It is.
for emergencies.
In that one situation, that emergency for the Maui wildfire was important for us
So
to have
I
that
agree with-
flexibility.
I can understand that. What I don't understand is circumventing the legislature by annually appointing a special project position.
Yeah, it wasn't our intent, Senator, to circumvent the legislature. It's my understanding that we could appoint to a temporary position. And so our deputies that are in the positions are appointed yearly, as reflected in their Form 5.
Because if that's the case, why even ask the legislature for positions, right? That you can create 200, whatever you want, and then you just constantly annually appoint.
I think the permanent positions are important because it provides our employees with the stability that they have. They have a permanent position that they're sitting in versus a temporary position. So individuals that accept a temporary position accept it with the understanding that it's on a year-to-year appointment.
Yeah, but you would just continue to do what you're doing now.
If the need was there. Yes.
So, Superintendent, so did you renew them, the two deputies, did you renew them?
Yes, I did,
You
Senator.
renewed them when, in December or when?
I'm not sure of the exact date, but at the end of the year, they were renewed in their position.
See that, can you send us that renewal statement?
Sure.
So for the Attorney General, how often,
All right.
what is the flexibility? They can continue to circumvent and just annually appoint as long as they want?
I think there's going to be restrictions on how their budgets are set up, but I would still need to take this specific issue back to the Education Division. I'm sorry that I'm the one here and not them. I'll relate those concerns to them though.
Thank you.
One last question and then Senator Kidani. So is there anybody in the whole department that didn't know that this was 1 year? In the entire department? Do you
I'm
have
not able to answer that question, Senator. As far as I know, we did not know that it was 1 year. We did know that I believe it's a 1-year appointment on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
So it's a year-to-year, which these positions are.
Senator Kidani?
Thank you, Chair. My question is regarding the requirement that every 2 years, board must submit written performance evaluations on the CASs. So the question for the AG is there any concerns with personal matters being shared with the legislature?
Is that with respect to the proposed SD1?
Correct.
I'm not sure what the Education Division has noted on this proposed SD1. I understand from talking to them that this was substantially similar to another bill, but I'm not sure what their concerns were. But I will relay to them that there were concerns from you regarding personal matters shared in the reviews.
Yeah, I think that's important for us to know. Thank you.
Okay, if you were, sorry, just as a clarification, the bill does say that the evaluations shall include student academic outcome progress, fiscal management, operational efficiency, leadership effectiveness, and stakeholder arrangement. So I'm not sure that there's confidential information in that, but if it is, that can be removed.
Senator, if I may too, the 2 deputy positions that we've created are essential to the department's our ability for the department to deliver on services to support for our entire system. So I just want to say that we did create those, I did create those positions, and those positions are definitely needed for us to continue the work that we're doing in the department and to maintain our momentum.
Okay. And you have the funding to continue them without us giving you money for it.
We will continue to look for funding should the legislature not fund the position.
Senator Decor.
Thank you. Being that this position was created in an emergency basis, it sounds like you are now finding them to have responsibility over more permanent kinds of responsibilities. Is that?
So if I'm understanding your question correct, Senator, the two positions that were emergency that Chair De La Cruz referred to was the emergency in Maui and the wildfires. The positions that our deputies sit in are critical and vital to the department and to address the many needs that we have to ensure that we're able to continue to move forward effectively.
But no longer just with regards to Maui? Or is it just regards
Those
to
two
Maui?
positions did support Maui during the Maui wildfires.
Okay, so I guess my
They also supported most currently in the Kona Low and the damages, extensive damages that we've had to the department, to the schools. They're also supporting in those efforts.
Yeah, so being that this was a position that was created temporarily, who was prior to then responsible for these kinds of actions, I guess?
So the deputy superintendent of operations currently oversees the offices of information technology, office of facility and support services,
But you already have people in position for that already, right?
assistant superintendents, yes.
Yeah, so we're already paying
the-
somebody to manage and maintain.
And there is what we've learned, Senator, is that in the department, there's extremely important work that needs to be done that also is cross-office. And it's through those cross-office matters that need to be addressed is one of the many areas that the deputy superintendents manage and support.
Though, with all due respect, no other department can create deputies the way you can. There's no way we can't just keep adding deputies to DHERD or to DHS or to corrections. I mean, that's just, it's just not the same. And the law is that you can create temporary positions, not necessarily ongoing for how many years. I just said, when question though, I'm not sure whose testimony it was that says the board is not qualified to evaluate the CASs.
Board of Education.
What I find kind of strange about that comment is, if they're not qualified to evaluate the CASs, then how are they qualified to evaluate you?
So,
I mean, it seems,
Senator, so
do they go to training to evaluate you?
I do, the board through our strategic plan, I'm accountable to the board to meet
No, I know.
the
Yeah,
indicators in
that's
our
fine. I'm
plan.
just saying, if they're not, I'm talking about their qualifications.
I
So if
believe,
their qualifications is they're not qualified to do the CASs, then why would they be qualified to evaluate you?
I can't speak to that specific rationale from
No,
that.
that's fine.
However,
No, that-
I'm thinking though, Senator, real
No,
quick.
don't make it up. It's
No, I'm
fine.
not.
You don't
I'm
know-
not. I'm thinking though, when that statement was made, complex area superintendents are integral in the coordination support of schools. And so, Deputy Armstrong, myself, we work closely with complex area superintendents, know what they do. We visit schools, we talk to principals and teachers and so forth, look at curriculum, look at data. Those are a lot of information and connections
No, yeah,
that we make. So,
but if they're qualified to evaluate you, which I'm not sure what kind of training they have to actually determine that they're qualified to evaluate you, then what makes that? I just don't see the difference.
I do have to provide information to the board, for them to make a decision on, how I'm
Yes, what
doing my
would be the-
progress. But I believe that it's important to evaluate complex care superintendents, that, those who are doing that evaluation also have the time to get out to the different schools
Yeah.
to talk with stakeholders and so forth.
The board would just have to go through the same training so that they could properly
But,
evaluate.
yeah, I think that might be difficult, Senator, because we do have 258 schools that our complex care superintendents oversee.
Any other questions, members? If not, we'll go into decision making. Ready? Okay. Members, the recommendation is to amend HB 2567, House Draft 1, to the proposed SD1 with additional amendments that we will change the wording on page 3, line B. Line 10 under B. Every 2 years, the board, it says will change that to may conduct written performance evaluation of each complex superintendent. And this would be based on reports from the deputy superintendents that will give the board more knowledge about that. And it shall not include any personal information in the release or any kind of request that comes out from the legislature. I'll further amend this to say that the superintendent, while these positions are capped, in the event of a declared emergency, the superintendent will be able to declare a temporary position for the 1 year or until the emergency has ceased to exist. So with that, any questions, any discussion?
So we're not
Senator?
eliminating the CAS positions, which is,
No, we're just capping it as originally. Any other? Senator Elefante.
Thank you. I'll be in support of your recommendations, Chair. I do appreciate the amendment from changing shall to may. I did have concerns with how that process plays out, but do appreciate I do still have concerns with the AG's comments though, in that sense.
Yeah.
But with that, I won't be voting with reservations, but just appreciate your amendments. Thank you.
Any other discussion? No? Okay. My vice chair. For the vote.
No, right there. Michelle has.
Michelle, I'm sorry. Vice Chair of Education, will you take the vote, please? So again,
Shall I or may I?
you may. Okay, the chair votes aye.
So for House Bill 2567, proposed SD1, to pass with amendments.
Correct.
Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye, Senator Fukunaga excused, Senator Hashimoto. Aye. Senator Decort. Aye. Measures adopted.
Thank you.
Ways and Means and Recommendation.
For HB 2567, Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye, Senator Decort. Aye. Senator Elefante.
Aye.
Senator Hashimoto.
Aye.
Senator Inoue. Senator Kanuha.
Aye.
Senator Kinani. Aye. Senator Kim.
Aye.
Senator Lee is excused. Senator Richards.
Aye.
Senator Wakai.
yes.
Senator Favela. Recommendation adopted.
Thank you.
Okay, calling the 10:30 agenda to order. Begins with House Bill 2275. House Bill 2275, recommendation is to pass with amendments, add blank appropriation to the following state programs: Agribusiness Development Corp., HTDC, School Facilities Authority, Hawaii Community Development Authority, and BNF from the Mass Transit Special Fund, and transferred unspecified balance from the State Risk Management Revolving Fund into the general fund and effective date to 2050. Any discussion? Not Chair votes aye.
HB 2275, members present, Senator Lee excused, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2329, Recommendation is to pass with amendments effecting the date to 2050. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
HB 2329, all members present with Senator Lee excused. Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Okay, next item, House Bill 2452. Recommendation is to pass with amendments effecting the date to 2050. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
House Bill 2452, all members present, Senator Lee excused. Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
No. Yeah. Okay, IT.
Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, calling to order the 1031 agenda, beginning with House Bill 1166. Okay, House Bill 1166, recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
House Bill 1166, all members present, anyone voting no with reservation, with Senator Lee excused. Motion adopted. Oh, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1574, recommendation is to pass with amendments. Will adopt the AG's testimony conforming and clarifying amendments and extending the requirement for those who receive total loan repayment assistance to remain in practice in the state for no less than 5 years whose loan repayment assistance amounts are between 1,000 and 50,000 and no less than 7 years for those whose amounts are above $50,001. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1605, recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1658, recommendation is to pass with amendments effecting the date to 2050. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1688, recommendation is passed with amendments effecting the date to 2050. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1707, recommendation is to pass with amendments to sunset the program on June 30, 2029. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no, reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1740, recommendation is passed with amendments. Will adopt testimony from AILH that disability-related temporary absences from an HHFDC unit, including hospitalization, inpatient rehab, and medically necessary care facility stays, are covered by the hardship exception in sections 21H-49 and do not constitute a violation of the perpetual occupancy and restriction. And will add an eligibility requirement stating that an individual shall not qualify if the total value of assets or property exceeds the value of the corporation-approved housing project being purchased. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation.
Reservations.
Reservation for Senator Elefante. Recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1769. We're going to defer this to 10:00, excuse me, recess. Okay, we're going to defer House Bill 1769 to April 8th, 10:01 a.m. in this room. Next item, House Bill 1801, recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1890, recommendation is to pass with amendments and will insert contents of SB 2391 SD2. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, Recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1969. We're going to pass unamended. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Next item, House Bill 1970. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Next item, House Bill 1972. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Next item, House Bill 2049. We're going to defer since the Senate bill is going to cross over.
1972.
Next item, House Bill 2050. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
House Bill 2050, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2094. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Next item, House Bill 2113. We're going to defer. Next item, House Bill 2139. We're going to defer. Next item, House Bill 2165. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2241. We're going to pass with amendments. Insert a $5,000 cap for a single-family residence property. Adjust the AGI caps for single and head of household filers to be $175,000 for single filers and $262,500 for head of household filers. Insert a sunset date of January 1, 2029. Disallow the credit to be claimed in subsequent years if the taxpayer has already claimed a system for credit for systems installed on residential and non-residential properties. And amend to upon approval. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Okay. All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2250. Recommendation is to pass with amendments. We'll take AG's amendments. And we'll also effect the date upon approval. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2271. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Next item, House Bill 2272. Recommendation is to defect the date to 2050. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
HB 2272 passed with amendments. All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2273. Recommendation is to defect the date to 2050. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
All members present, to pass with amendments. All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2276. Recommendation is to pass with amendments. Require the EUTF to conduct a market analysis on salaries before the EUTF is authorized to establish salaries for the trust fund investment office personnel that are commensurate with the private sector. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
Passed with amendments. All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2296. Recommendation is to pass with amendments, effecting it upon approval. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Okay, next item, House Bill 2297. Recommendation is to pass with amendments, taking McKinley Community School for Adults suggested amendment to delete the definition of basic skills deficient on page 7 from lines 2 through 9. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2300. Recommendation is to pass with amendments effecting the date upon approval. Any discussion?
Passed with amendments. Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2310. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2335. Recommendation is to pass with amendments. Changing the date to upon approval. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Next item, House Bill 2338. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2339. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Next item, House Bill 2345. Recommendation is passed with amendments, replacing all instances of deferred maintenance projects with capital improvement projects and clarifying that SFA cannot use general funds for operations and the management of their agency. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2443. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2468. Recommendation is to pass with amendments. For private sector employers, apprenticeship programs, sponsors, and trade organizations with fewer than 50 employees, the state shall reimburse 100% of the intern's wages, provided that the reimbursement shall not exceed the maximum rate established pursuant to this section. And for private sector employers, apprenticeship programs, sponsors, and trade organizations with 50 or more employees shall be reimbursed up to 50% of an intern's wages up to $10 per hour. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2472. Recommendation is passed with amendments. Require that EUTF conduct a market analysis on salaries before the EUTF is authorized to establish the salary for the trust fund assistant administrator commensurate to the private sector. Any discussion? None. Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2474. Recommendation is passed with amendments. Insert language that evaluations of entering into non-binding international cooperative agreements with foreign national governments, foreign subnational jurisdictions, and regional intergovernmental parties should include key state initiatives such as economic development, trade, education, agriculture, and biosecurity. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2498. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2546. Recommendation is to pass with amendments. Reinsert the total amount of the annual statewide cap is $5 million and sunset the program on January 1, 2029. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Recess. Okay, members, let's go back to House Bill 2300. We're going to reconsider the amendments, and recommendation will be to pass as is. Any discussion?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm gonna leave it. So just pass as is.
You already have it.
Any discussion? If not,
Pass unamended.
pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Okay, so HB 2300 to pass unamended. Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2599. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye. Adjourn.
Anyone,
Oh,
wait,
go ahead.
wait. Okay, to pass unamended. Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Okay, calling the 1032 agenda to order. First item is House Bill 1519. Recommendation is to pass with amendments, insert conforming amendments to ensure it's limited to contracts within the same branch, remove the appropriations for the State Procurement Office, amend the appropriation for Campaign Spending Commission to come out of the Hawaii Election Campaign Fund instead of the general fund, and effective date July 1st, 2026. Any discussion? Not chair votes aye.
All members present, anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1541. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation? Reservation for Senator Rivera. Reservations for me. Okay, and for Senator Inoue.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1546. Recommendation is to pass with amendments inserting an appropriation from the general fund to the Department of Human Services to implement the health coverage continuity program. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1656. Recommendation is to pass with amendments effecting the date to 2050. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1661. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1663. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1804. Recommendation is to replace the current language with the language that has the Executive Office on Aging propose a study on long-term care that focuses on financing options, feasibility, and cost of a program, and provide a report to the 2027 legislature. Insert blank appropriation for the Executive Office of Aging. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1840. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1854. Recommendation is to pass with amendments. Adopt the AG's technical amendments to give the office authority to decertify instead of the board, and clarify the decertification process, and clarify the state's role in certifying clinics. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1860. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1891. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1949 will be deferring. Next item, House Bill 1952. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 1960. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion?
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2005. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2158. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2171. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation for Senator Elefante? Anyone else? Recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2207. Recommendation is to effect the date upon approval. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
HB 2207 passed with amendments. Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2208. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2315. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2319. Recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2343, recommendation is to pass unamended. Any discussion? Chair votes aye.
Voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2344, recommendation is to pass with amendments, add a new section to clarify that for the purposes of this act, public school and public school facilities do not include charter schools governed by Chapter 302D or their facilities. And in Section 3, change from shall to may. Any discussion?
Chair.
Chair.
In light of some of the concerns raised by some of the unions, I'll be voting no on this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Other than Senator Elafante voting no, any other members? No. No for Senator Inoue, no for Senator Favela. Anyone else? Anyone voting with reservation? Recommendation is adopted.
Thank you. Next item, House Bill 2386, recommendation deferring to April 8, 10:01 in this room. And last item, House Bill 2581, recommendation is to pass with amendments, add language that require HAIMA to identify locations around the state that can be used as logistical hubs in an emergency so that these hubs can be activated during an emergency by the agency. Any discussion? Not, chair votes aye.
Anyone voting no with reservation, recommendation is adopted.
Thank you.